Well, okay, Minorcan Navy, here we go. A little bit of salvage operation ongoing today in the port of Brunswick. You know, some of my astute members of the Minorcan Navy have commented on this tugboat that seemed to have been sunk along the waterfront. And, well, yeah, you were right. The tug was actually being transported. It was welded to the top of this barge, and the barge sank. Well, today was salvage day for the barge and tugboat. This is the Brenda Lee tugboat that was on the barge, and the group that's here getting up this barge is the same group that's going to work on the door F. And we understand that process is scheduled to take place tomorrow. I'm doing our best to try to get over and cover that for you guys. When that happens, there's a pretty good chance of some foul weather moving into the area. So hopefully we'll be able to work around that and be able to get you guys some of the process of that, and maybe even go live. So make sure that your notifications are turned on. And if we are able, we're going to try to bring that to you as the process is ongoing with the door F. But this was a pretty neat operation. I had some cranes in here and some really big pumps working. Look at the amount of water that this pump is moving. Now, I had a pump that was on the bow of the barge as well, working the front end, and it looked to me like, if you can see how the barge is sitting now as it's beginning to come up, still a lot of weight on the stern end of that barge from the tug, so it's kind of keeping it down. The pump that was on the front didn't look like it was able to pick up a lot of water. You can kind of see that pump coming in the frame now. We'll get in there a little tighter where you can take a look at it, and every now and then it would throw a little bit of water out. But whatever job it was doing earlier, it looks like the suction part of that pump system is maybe wasn't getting down to the water. Now the water had run back to the stern of the barge, so this pump that was in the back of the rig was really working overtime, really moving a lot of water. And you can also see that water, the rusty look of that water as it comes out. It's kind of getting pushed in by the current from the tide, and maybe a little bit of oil in the water there from the process, but a little bit of oil goes a long way. We knew that from past experience, but it looks like they're doing their best to try to stop that. And keep in mind that this boat had been underwater, partially underwater for quite a long time. When we get in kind of tight, you'll actually be able to see the water line on it. You can understand how much of this vessel was submerged. You see that pump there now, kind of throwing out. It's caught some of that water, and we saw that doing that a little bit. Now I think they did move this pump towards the stern once they started making a little headway on getting the barge up. And this is one of the processes. This was getting kind of late in the day when we were out with the drone catching this. And this is one of those processes that once you get started, you can't stop. If you stop overnight, you're back to square one the next day. But you can see that those pumps were doing a pretty good job. Quite a bit of that barge exposed, and it looked to be like it was on its way up. Now you're going to see a little video comes up of one of the crew guys down on the deck of that tugboat with a torch, and he seemed to be kind of burning some holes in the boat, like maybe the tugboat was holding water and they were cutting some drain holes in there. And we actually got some good video of that, of seeing that water running out from the work that he was doing on the tugboat. Now this overhead view really gives you an idea how much water this pump is moving. It is quite a heavy stream coming out of that pump. They had a workboat that was right at the back of the tugboat, and that looked to be how the that crewman who was on the tugboat was had his torches. It looked like the bottles were in the boat, and he had the hoses running across the stern of the tug. And we're going to get in there in just a second so you guys can see him working his craft. A lot of cleanup still going on following Hurricane Helene, and this is just a very small drop in the water as compared to what some folks are going through right now. I'm certainly thinking about them and the problems and issues that they are facing. We're fortunate now to have power back on the island. Got it back up 2 days ago, thanks to the linemen who responded here, and were able to get that going. There on the deck of the tugboat, you can see that worker with that long torch. We're going to kind of go in here a little bit where you can see the water where he's cut, where it's running out across the deck. And we got some images from the Crimson Captain just before sundown, and from these images we can see that that the barge looks like it's floating. It looks like it's gotten up with a little bit of freeboard. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have some images of this barge completely floating. That's all we got for right now. I want to say thank you guys for watching, supporting the channel, and you guys please be safe out there.